Hello. Don't know if y'all can hear me, but today we are going to be doing a little test. I've been meaning to do this the whole entire time that I've been here in Trinidad. We're gonna be bleaching some hair, but I'm gonna be doing it with the bleach bath method. I only need to lift the wig. Where is it? I only need to lift this wig like 2 levels maybe. Right now it's like very dark. It has some brown in it. I need to get it up to like maybe a level 3. We might be able to get away with 4. That might be a little too late. We'll see what happens. What I will be using is some bleach. I also have some BW2. No, you can talk. I'm talking to the mic. I'm here with my family, so if you can hear them in the background. I will be using this generic value product. It's supposed to be comparable to Wella Professional's Blonder. And then I also have some BW2 if that's not enough, because this is only 2 ounces with the 2 packets. I will also be using some 30 volume developer, and I also have 10 volume. I've never done this before, so because I don't want it to be so strong, my idea was I was just going to use the 10, but I don't think the 10 is strong enough to do any lifting. So I think I need the 30 volume to lift. I also have 20 volume, but I'm saving that for like later. My idea is to use the 30 and the 10 together, which I'm thinking will bring it down. I don't know if it brings it down to 20, but you know, math. So let's get started. I have some water boiling in the background, and let's get started with the bleach bath. Alright, so here we are. I'm adding the 2 generic bleach powders. I quickly realized this wasn't enough, so I do end up going in with the BW2 powder, and I use 2 good scoops of that. And then I use my brush to like break up any clumps and push the powder around. And then here I am adding developer. This is the 30 developer, and honestly, I just squeezed in what I thought I needed to get the powder saturated. In hindsight, I probably could have used a little bit more, but I continue to push the powder around until it's incorporated, and we are just crossing our fingers and hoping for the best. And now I'm adding the boiling water. I'm also slightly panicking. This water, the vapor hit me like poppers on a dance floor. It was like I was getting a head rush. But here I am mixing it around. We are adding in the wig. And this is my mom's wig. I sacrificed hers first in the hopes that I could learn something. So I only let the wig sit for maybe like 2 to 3 minutes. It's like 5 minutes in total from like when I actually added it into the bath.
How's she gonna get in there? Wow, it's smoking, Nick.
It's supposed to.
What is that?
Huh?
Why it's smoking?
Because it's bleach. Yeah. Okay, so here we are on to number 2. This is my wig, and I just get her in there. While I was bleaching the second wig, I noticed that she wasn't changing as fast, so I am gonna go ahead and add 2 more scoops of BW2. So as you're probably seeing, this was like a horrible idea, and I hated it. I hated every single second of it. Please do all of this before you add the wig. I had no place to like put the wig, and I was panicking a little bit trying to get all the powder mixed in, but it was turning into like these nasty clumps, and it wasn't disintegrating properly. It was getting on the wig, and I was really scared that I was like gonna ruin everything. I added more volume. I added more developer so that I could try and not have the mixture be too watery. And then I'm just like dipping the wig to try and get the powder off. But this was a mess. Definitely don't do it this way. Here I am adding foil. That's just to keep the heat in while the wig is processing. I want to say that the foil actually worked pretty well because the water was still pretty hot when I took it to the sink. So here we are onto rinsing. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I kind of just get the wig into the sink and rinse the hell out of it. I'm using cold water, and I am just trying to get as much of the bleach out as I can and be really thorough about it. I also love the shot here because like you can see the change in the color of the wig, and I was kind of feeling myself when I was watching the clip back, but we ran into issues. So I'm brushing through the wig as I wash it, and that's just to get the tangles and stuff out. Um, Also just pushing out any powder, like any leftover powder that I was seeing. I'm going in here with Head and Shoulders. I think my thought process was that this was the 2-in-1, and I was hoping that that would mean like I can rinse the bleach out, but also simultaneously add some moisture back to the hair. I don't know if that makes sense or is the right thing to do, but it's what we did do. Alright, so here I'm showing you the color of the hair. It lifted unevenly. The top was actually kind of nice for like the first lift. The bottom, I don't know what happened, if they were like two different wefts or something. But the wig is gonna look very different in the next clip that I'm about to play. And that's because I did bleach the hell out of it a second time with another bleach bath before I left Trinidad. So I don't really explain that in the next clip. I like blow dried it yesterday before we left Trinidad and threw it in a bag. It's still kind of damp. So I guess I didn't blow dry it enough, and the bag must have made it like humid. So this is kind of damp. I'm gonna take it with me to the Ogle school and ask if they can try and fix it to match my hair when it's done. If they can't, then we'll just continue with the self stuff, but I don't have time to be like playing around, so sorry, ruining my video halfway through my little bleach this wig with me tutorial. We'll do another one in the future. But it's 1:07, my appointment's at 1:30, so let's go. Hey, so I'm done. I got there at 1:30. It is now 5:27. This is, y'all, I'm in love with my hair. It's so pretty. Like, this blonde, oh, I'm in love. I want to give a shout out to like the two people. Their names were Reagan and Sunny, and they did a great job, like those two students. The instructors, they're really lovely. I'm sorry I didn't catch the instructor's name. If you're like scared to go to like a hair school to get like more simple things done, like, you know, like a color retouch and things like that, I'm telling you, give it a try. They gave me so much information because they weren't able to do my wig. They said that they can't do the wigs just because, you know, like, you kind of never, a wig is a mixed bag. You never really know what's you're actually gonna get, like when you're doing the process with the bleaching and stuff. So they didn't want to take the chance, and so but they gave me so much information so that I can go home and bleach the wig myself, and they let me take a picture of like my information sheet from the style service so that I can go to Sally's and try to get like the toners and things that match. So I'm going to try and match this blonde because this blonde is so pretty. I cannot get over how pretty this blonde is. Also, she did a really great job with styling my hair curly. The first two times that I went there, the first time I went there, they straightened my hair. The second time that I went there, the student did a really great job with the color, but she didn't know how to work with curly hair. But she was very open to like feedback and things like that so that she could do better for the next time. But this time, I love my hair. It's amazing. So huge shout out. I'm gonna go to Sally's now and I'm gonna try and get the toners actually no, I'm just gonna get bleached today. I'll get the toners and stuff tomorrow. But I'll look to see if they actually have them. If they have them, maybe I'll just buy them today. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm so happy to have my hair. Like, getting my blonde retouched So back to this wig. I'm showing you like the new blonde hair, and I'm also trying to make a point and show you how, even with the second lift, the bottom just will not lift. Like, no matter what I do, the bottom will not lift. So I don't know what is going on there, and if anyone has any idea and wants to explain it to me, please feel free to. But I'm putting the hair into sections because I am getting ready to go in and try to bleach it myself again. But this time needs to be the last time because the hair was starting to feel a little crazy at this point. So I did not want to, end up in tears. All right, so I have gloves. I've got my bowl and my powder, my BW2 powder. I have 30 volume developer. And these are the toners. I have 9N and 9A. They're from Color Charm, and those are the ones that my style service used. So I was really trying to mimic the color that they put on my actual hair. I'm just mixing up the mixture here. I did realize I wasn't able to get one of the things that was on my little chart thing, which was like I forget what it was called. It was like for like a prism color or something like that. Oh, an iridescent. It was like an iridescent gloss or something like that which was supposed to like, I don't know. I think that my blonde would have come out exactly like my hair, a lot better if one, I lifted the wig high enough, and two, I had that iridescent gloss thingy mabobber. But here I am. I'm just putting the bleach onto the actual hair. I'm starting on the bottom since it is so much darker. Also, that's just where, they started. I do go in and I'm making my own little foil thingy mabobs. I need to stop saying thingy mabob. But I was paying attention while they were doing my hair, and I'm trying so hard to mimic the way that they were doing my hair. And it was really fun because I kind of felt like if I was in cosmetology school or something. So it was a cute little night of like trying to bleach hair. Here are all the foils because my dumb ass didn't realize that my camera had gotten full with memory, and so I missed the entire bleaching process. But here I am pulling out the foils, and I'm just going through and seeing what the blonde is gonna look like. This part was a little scary for me because I'm like testing out the hair and pulling at it, and I'm seeing that it's kind of it has a little bit of gumminess to it. Also, just while I was pulling out of the foils, I noticed that the hair was just really gunky, and so I was, like, getting a little scared because when they were pulling out my hair, I couldn't see it, so I was just assuming, like, they were pulling it out and it was coming out, like, straight. But anyways, I just go through, I get all the foils out, and, let's just see what we're working with. Also, while I was pulling out the foils, I noticed that the root was still pretty dark. I didn't mind that though because I am gonna go in and kind of do like a shadow root, which you'll see later in the video. So here I am here I am realizing the error of my ways. I'm using this wet rag to pull off the bleach from the bottom layers of hair because I'm done processing those ones, but I needed the top to process a little bit longer. So here I am taking down the top layers, and as you can see, the bottom, it still looks darker. That was pissing me off the entire time I was doing this wig. We are at the sink. I'm washing the wig out. While I was taking down the layers, you saw that a little bit of hair was coming out, right? So here I am in the sink, and as you can see, I'm kind of stretching the hair and pushing the water through because I'm kind of playing with fire and seeing how far I can get with, like, is the hair truly damaged? Like, is it a lost cause? I do also want to note that at this point, the hair was feeling very strange in my hand. It felt like gum that was stretching. So, it wasn't too much, but like I did just notice like the texture of the hair was I didn't know how to feel about it. The hair doesn't feel like that anymore now, but like I don't know, it was feeling insane. All right, so I'm squeezing out all the excess water and then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna detangle the hair. And as you're gonna see when I'm detangling the hair, we're gonna get we're gonna get a not so pleasant realization. So I am pulling these little strands out. I decided to just keep going because I was like, there's no choice. We kind of just gotta hope for the best. And I mean, this is a little ridiculous though. Like I genuinely I was getting scared here. All right, so I'm mixing up my this is the toners and I'm mixing up the 9N and the 9A and I'm just doing the full tubes of everything to go in. Ultimately, I mix up way too much toner. Like this bowl is gonna be disgustingly full by the end after I add like the developer and stuff like that. You don't need to mix up this much toner. You could probably get away with half of each tube. Or like a whole 9N and then the 9A. I could have saved like $10 because I did not need so much toner. Like I couldn't even properly mix it. That's how The bowl was so full. Like, I felt so stupid. I was like, I need a bigger bowl, but I also was too stubborn to like go get a new one. So just you're gonna watch me struggle here. Also, just a reminder for people, be smarter than me. I was doing this on our marble countertops, and maybe don't do that. Definitely have a rag down, or do it like on the little, if you have like a little stand or something. All right, so here we are putting the toner onto the hair, and I sped this clip up a lot, but I'm just slapping the toner on the hair and trying to really get it in there nice and saturated. Overall, I think when I was looking at the time, I was a little bit weirded out and confused because everything that I read said the toner's supposed to go on really fast, right? Like, a lot of people do it like at the sink when they're washing the hair after their bleach application. I feel like when I looked at the timing, it took me like an hour and a half to put this toner on. So I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what that means. I sped this clip up a lot and I cut out a lot of it. So just I don't know. Ultimately, I did spill a little bit of toner. It did change the color of it. I didn't get any on the floors, but it did change the color of the paint on the kitchen island. So there's like a little spot that's a little bit darker. I didn't tell anybody about that though, so that's our little secret. So at this point, I really think this is overkill. Like, I felt bad about like mixing so much toner. So like, I was kind of also delusional trying to just like slap on as much toner as I could and hoping that like maybe that will do something. And then I'm pretty sure I let the toner sit for probably about 30 minutes.
Now you can make a video on what not. Don't follow my instructions. Watch the video. Watch the video so you don't follow my instructions. No. Nigga, what am I gonna do? I gotta wear this for I'm supposed to wear this to the wedding.
So as you saw in the last clip, the hair was so crunchy when it dried, and I was like, okay, I've ruined the wig. But as like I said, we keep it delulu and we just keep on trucking. So I washed the wig out, and here I am going through with my blow dryer, and I'm just trying to fully dry the wig and see if like it will actually dry soft and if it's still usable, or if I'm gonna be like, I don't know. I couldn't even go to Party City and get a Party City wig for the wedding because Party City is no longer in business. So we just needed to hope that this was gonna work. You can see I'm pulling out a crop ton of hair from the blow dryer as I'm doing this process. I'm also adding heat protectant after I've already started drying, like if that's gonna do anything. I was just, we're just trying to fix things, okay? We're trying to fix things. I do have to say it was a little reassuring that the hair wasn't just completely ripping out. Um, but also you can see like the bottom is drying like poofy and then the top just wasn't drying. Like no matter how much I ran the blow dryer through, the hair just didn't want to like let go of the water. It took me forever. So I'm showing you hair that I like sectioned off the hair. I went like literally row by row in the wig, and then I sectioned off the front and top so that I can do the shadow rooting. Yeah, this took a lot of time. So I'm just going through, I have the color, I think I'm using a 3B, or like, no, just a 3. I think it's like a 3 neutral. Or like a 3 ash. I can't remember. But I'm using like a color 3. Or actually, no, I'm lying. I'm using a color 4. But I'm going through, and as you can see, I'm just hitting the roots of the hair with that color. And then I'm going through and combing it down section by section. And at first I was just throwing it on, but then I like thought about it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like, wherever the color is, it's gonna start staining. So I started laying down plastic, saran wrap in between certain layers. And I don't think it was every layer. I can't remember. You'll see it right here. But I think I basically laid plastic down in between the layers in order to keep them from staining each other, essentially. Some of them did still experience a little bit of staining, and in certain areas where maybe I combed down too far, there is a tiny bit of variation in there, but it's not too bad. And overall, this process was actually a lot more simple than I thought it was gonna be. You just really need to make sure you section. Like, it's so important to section, because if I had just gone in trying to do this, it would have come out disgusting. Because it already came out kind of rough with me doing the sectioning and like really trying to be clean and like organized about it. And so I'm just finishing up. These are the layers of wefts, essentially. And then as you get to the top, the entire wig is wefts because it's a V-part wig. So there's no lace or anything on here. But I do finally get to the top of the wig eventually. And when I get to the top, that's where I kind of start to do a little bit of freestyling. So here I am showing you what I'm doing at the top, and I literally kind of just laid all the hair over. So with this wig, what was really important to me is that since I have shadows and roots in my hair, the actual wig, in order for it to blend seamlessly, needed to have shadow and root. It also helped to hide the wig cap, because the wig cap itself, if you can see that white part in the middle, the wig cap itself was showing through the hair when I made it lighter. So I had to go back in and make sure to darken around the perimeter of the wig, and also like anywhere that my hair, my natural hair wasn't gonna be, it had to look like the wig was growing out of my scalp. So I went in and just made sure to hit that perimeter of the kind of top part of the wig. And then I was very kind of like liberal about brushing this through and making sure that the hair was dark. The reason why I did that is because this hair, while the color is really pretty, definitely a little bit darker than my actual hair. like now that it's blonde. So I'm a little bit behind. Here, I am combing conditioner through the parts of the wig that don't have the shadow in it. And that's because when I go to wash out the wig, I was hoping that the conditioner would kind of protect the color that is below the shadow from kind of staining it. And so you can see here, like, these sections here are where, like, the shadow, like, kind of bled down onto the wig. So I wish I had used that plastic saran wrap in between every single layer. But these are, like, the bottom layers, so I'm not too worried about it. And, like, you'll see at the end, it kind of came together. So here's the wig with all the conditioner in it, and before I wash it out, I'm a little bit unsure here, but it actually, I'm telling you, like, I kind of like gagged myself towards the end of this video. All right, so here I am, and I'm blow drying the wig. I think I like lost the footage of me washing the wig out. I might have also just not taken it because I was getting anxious and kind of nervous and just wanted to be done with this. But as you can see here, there's a change. You see that little smile? Because I'm starting to realize, like, I really like the way it's come out, and it's hitting. Like, the hair is hitting. So at this point, the wig was still shedding a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Basically what was left on the wig is it. And so I'm showing you here, like, the full color. This is the finished result. And look at that. Isn't that, I think for my first time, that's, like, really amazing. I'm very happy with this wig. I can't, like, lie to tell you. Look at that. Look at that blonde. All right, so here I am, and I'm, like, matching my hair to it to see if it works. That piece is, like, a little bit too light, but then I, like, take out some of my lower light color, and that, I think, is a pretty decent blend. And I'm mostly using the hair that's more at the front of my head because that's what's going to be left out on top of the wig. I also found this, like, piece of hair that was completely white, so I guess she's done. And we're done. Like, this is me cutting the strap because, babe, we did it. Like, we did it. Overall, this entire wig was very much trust the process. There was a lot of times where I thought, oh my God, I've ruined it. I just wasted like $140 on this wig. But we managed to make it work. And I didn't get to style the wig on video, but here's some pictures of me at the wedding with the finished result. The styling of the hair didn't work out great because my curls kind of fell. But, like, overall, she kind of served. So thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.